Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. We are back. And of course, Manchester United and Liverpool play again. Not long after we played them at Anfield when we were top of the league. They were sitting in third at that point, but could have leapfrogged us in the table. We drew 0-0 at that time. Obviously, Manchester United missing some big opportunities in that second half. But it was a game that we were pretty happy to let Liverpool have the ball and try and hit them on the counter-attack. In this game at Old Trafford, it has to be settled on the day, and Manchester United will probably be looking to go for it more, which could mean we'll have a bit more of an open game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed that he will be ringing a couple of changes in this game, so we will be using some of the squad players and utilising some of those players on the fringes that have been on the bench in the Premier League, but you still expect to see a very, very strong Manchester United side in this game. So really looking forward to this one. Looking forward to this one more than I was the league one, because with the league games, you obviously feel a little bit more panicky because of how, fragile United's position is at the top of the table. We know that Manchester City can, leapfrog us to the top of the table if they win their game in hand. And you know how important those league fixtures are. Now, that's not to say the cup game isn't important. Of course it is. It's massively important that Manchester United do well and hopefully bring home a trophy this season. We'd love it to be the Premier League trophy, but that's a battle. And we're not the favourites for that. Manchester City are, overwhelming favourites for the Premier League trophy. But halfway through, we're still in a battle. So the cup competitions, yes, they're important, but at the same time, we know we've still got business to deal with in the Premier League. So expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to ring a few changes, but still expect us to have a very strong team. We'll be discussing all that. I'll have my predicted 11s. We'll be getting your predicted 11s, some of your preferred players that you want to see starting in this game, and your predicted scores as well. So keep your comments coming in as you're watching live. And to those that haven't watched live and have tuned in after, there's usually thousands after that this has gone live. You guys can, of course, get your comments in the comments box below and let us know what you think, and I'll dive in the replies there at some point. So let us know your thoughts on the game coming up. And as I said, we'll get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team news ahead of that game as well. And one of the positives for Manchester United is Victor Lindelof is available for this game. Ole said Victor will be fine for the weekend ahead of the game against Fulham. After the game against Fulham in his pre-match press conference for this game. He said it was just that it was a quick turnaround between the Fulham game and the last game against Liverpool, and felt that because obviously Lindelof has a back injury, he left him at home. He wanted to play Eric against Fulham and Victor wasn't ready, so now we have 4 days extra for Victor. So it seems to suggest that he's probably going to play Victor Lindelof in this game as well, although Eric Bailly's been fantastic for United when he's stepped in this season. Axel Tuanzebe is a possibility as well. Obviously, we've seen him used in the cup competitions at various occasions. He played particularly well against Paris Saint-Germain away in Paris when we got that victory. So Axel Tuanzebe will be hoping that he's involved in this game as well. And you have seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka occasionally rested and Axel Tuanzebe play there. Brandon Williams has been out recently, so it's been difficult to be able to rest Aaron Wan-Bissaka and get someone in that position. But you hope that maybe Ole will contemplate using Axel Tuanzebe now. I've just thought of this while we're discussing this, and Axel actually isn't in my predicted 11. But that is a possible position where he could come in if Ole looks to keep Maguire and Lindelof at centre-half, which I think he will do. I was unsure about the decision to pick Lindelof in the last game, in the league game against Liverpool, because of how well Eric Bailly had done. Now, he played Victor Lindelof, and I don't think we started off particularly well. We were poor with possession for the first 15, 20, 25 minutes of that game. Fred McTominay particularly. And of course, I think Lindelof and Maguire looked pretty shaky when they had the ball at their feet. But they grew into their game. And they didn't look bothered throughout the game for the rest of the match. So, Ole got his selection right in the last Liverpool game. And with his comments after the game against Fulham, it seems to suggest that Victor Lindelof will be coming back into this lineup. Whether Axel Tuanzebe gets a chance or not remains to be seen, as much as I would like for him to be given an opportunity. This is a big chance for a couple of players that, when they start, you think, they're not second string players. When you think of Alex Telles, Donny van der Beek, for example, When you think of those guys starting, you don't consider them to be second string players. But this game could be one where it's a big opportunity for them. Now, obviously, Ollie's been criticised for not using Donny van der Beek a whole lot in this campaign. And, you know, as fans, we want to see more of Donny van der Beek. We know how good of a footballer he is. And we know that he's got a lot more to offer to his Manchester United side. But I don't think Ollie's particularly, you know, been that harsh with him, especially when you consider maybe, you know, I thought bringing him on with like 3 minutes to go in a game was a little bit out of order, to be totally honest with you. But at the same time, we've had big competition there. Bruno Fernandes has been in incredible form. You know, Paul Pogba's coming into his own. Fred, McTominay have been used in certain games when we've needed to use them. Matic has looked good as well. So you've got all these players competing for those midfield positions. It's difficult to get in there into a settled side. We hope that he'll come into his own towards the back end of the season, and I think he will as well. I'm not too worried about it. Let us know your thoughts about Donny van der Beek. I actually think he'll start this game. Get hitting that like button as well. Get commenting, get sharing. Got a few super chats that I've got to read out. Billy Vaughan says, wounded, can't go this week. Good numbers for the FA Cup. Think you are right in the title race. I laughed when you said 21 is coming. Looking forward to the kickoff, says Billy. Cheers for the super chat. Billy is, of course, our resident Liverpool fan. He's all right, even though he is a Liverpool fan. Cecil with a super chat says Twanzebe should play at least at right back. So there's someone that thinks, you know, Axel Twanzebe should be playing at right back. Thank you for your super chats. Get your super chats and your comments in. David's talking about transfers now. I'll do a transfer video later on in the week. I don't want to talk about transfers too much right now. We've got a huge game against Liverpool coming up. Ross says replace Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka with Williams and Telles. That could be a possibility. What do you think? Bruno starts tomorrow, says Aniket. And after what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said earlier in the week about Bruno Fernandes, he said that, you know, Bruno is one of those players that wants to play every single game. He doesn't want to be left out. And he's also fit. And I think he will start this game. I don't see him being left out of this match at all. You know, it's a huge game against Liverpool at home. He's not been in his most Bruno of form, you could say, in the last couple of weeks. But he's still been delivering with crucial goals, crucial assists, crucial moments in matches as well. And I still think he's been fantastic for us, even though he hasn't been the headline grabber. You want other players to step up. That's why we've got Paul Pogba. That's why we've got other players in the team. So you want these players to step up and deliver for Manchester United as well. So we don't always have to rely on Bruno Fernandes stepping up. And that's why I thought it was a little bit disrespectful when people were crediting everything on Bruno Fernandes. Bruno was a huge impact on the Reds. No doubt about it. In the mentality shift, in the attitude that I'm sure in the training and on the dressing room, or on the training ground and in the dressing room rather. And he will have squeezed a little bit more out of those players around him. He has that kind of enthusiasm. But at times last season, we also had Rashford winning games for us, Martial winning games for us, Greenwood winning games for us. We had other players stepping up as well. And this season, you know, we've had Cavani when we've needed him. You know, Martial's not been in form, but in the Villa game, for example, gets a goal. We need him to step up. And in the video that I did, the Weekly United, I was talking about 3 crucial players for Man United this season in the Premier League title race. 3 crucial players. Eric Bailly, we need him to stay fit. You know, if he stays fit, we've got a big chance. Anthony Martial, we need him to find his form again because we need more goals. And who was the other one? I think it was Nemanja Matic, because we've seen how important a number 6 is to us. Fred and McTominay are great at times, but a number 6 is also important at the right times in certain games. And I think Nemanja Matic is massively important for United. Obviously, Bruno, Cavani, Pogba are hugely important. But if they're fit, they'll deliver anyway. At the moment, so far throughout this season, you know, our upturn in form coincided with Eric Bailly returning. We need him to stay fit. If we could add Martial's goals to the mix and Greenwood's as well, but Greenwood's a young lad. You know, I'm not as expectant of him as I am, our number 9. You need your number 9 to start adding goals, and I think he will as well. I think he, second half of the season, he should, get back into the mix again. As soon as he gets one, hopefully they'll flow. But we need those players to be stepping up as well in the title race and help out those others around him. So those were my 3 key players for this season, and they are super important. And I think we've seen that we have got players that can win games when Bruno isn't scoring the goals, let's say, because I still think he's important. Another super chat from Coldwater says, PE teacher is 6 points above the best Liverpool manager of all time. He deserves the utmost respect. All key players needed to be rested for tomorrow's game. Glory, glory, Man United. I don't think they will be, to be totally honest with you. I think this is a big game. So I don't think they will be. Nivi says, where's the Premier League piss take? As we all know, that comes on Monday. It's not going to be today. So, yeah. Chris says, I would like to apologise for my interview on the channel after Ollie's first game when I said I would take Pochettino. It's all good. We all said the same thing at the same time, I think. Premier League piss take will have another Arsenal of the week. Yes, they got knocked out today. And speaking about who Manchester United and Liverpool will be playing for, West Ham beat Doncaster 4-0 today. So the winners of this game, Man United against Liverpool, will play West Ham at home. So, Moyes and West Ham are in great form this season. They've got some very good players in their side. But you'd like to think, if you beat these lot, you get to the last, I think it's the last, will it be the last 8 then? Or the last 16? And then you see you're in a good position. But it's a strong competition so far this season. It's a very strong competition. Let me just bring up the draw as it stands. 1 second. Here we go. So Southampton beat Arsenal today. Here we go. So you've got Fulham, Burnley, which hasn't happened yet. Bournemouth, Crawley. So the winners of those 2 games will play each other. Man United, Liverpool, which is tomorrow, will play the winners of West Ham and Doncaster, which is already done. Sheffield United are through after beating Plymouth, and they'll play Bristol City in the next round, who beat Millwall. Wolves beat Chorley, and Southampton beat Arsenal. So Wolves-Southampton will be an interesting tie in the next round. Barnsley-Norwich. Barnsley won, and they'll play the winners of Chelsea-Luton, likely to be Chelsea. Everton-Sheffield Wednesday will play the winners of Wycombe-Tottenham, which neither of those fixtures have happened yet. Swansea battered Forest with the boy Jan Danda having a good game today, 5-1, and they'll play the winners of Cheltenham City. City obviously expected to go through there. Brentford-Leicester will play. Brentford or Leicester will play Brighton as well in the next round. Obviously that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be the last 16 in the next round. So obviously a big opportunity to get to the last 16 against West Ham, and then can get to the last 8 hopefully. David says, would you take Wijnaldum? I would. I think he's a very good midfielder, but it looks like he's going to Barcelona, and also we've got a ram-packed midfield. That's not to say he wouldn't get games for us, but we need more of a number 6 in our midfield. Who's better than Arteta? 21's comment says, SK, is Facundo going out on loan, and why? Says Lackadaisical. Obviously, we've heard the rumours this week. Some of those rumours have been knocked back. That Facundo Pellistri could be going out on loan. It probably means Ollie's seen him and thought he's too good for the 23s. He's not good enough to get first team football for my team yet. So let's send him out on loan and let's see if we can get him 6 months of first team football elsewhere. That could be a possibility, but obviously as it stands, who knows? Amad Diallo, on the other hand, seems to have impressed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer an awful lot and made Ole Gunnar Solskjaer consider possibly be involving him in the first team soon. Best about, says Billy. Nice one, brother. Thank you very much for your other super chat as well. I appreciate your support on the channel. We will be, of course, as Billy said earlier as well, on the kickoff tomorrow. Stretford Paddock will have loads going on YouTube. The kickoff is obviously on Twitch. You can tune into both and the game. 3 screens. Do it. Get on it. Do you think Diallo will get minutes against Liverpool, says Jermaine? I'm not expecting to see him, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened. It wouldn't. It's the cup. He may be on the bench. Ollie seems to have been quite impressed with him so far during the campaign. He may be on the bench, during training. So let's see what happens, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. Adam A, watching from Cape Town. Majid says AM9 or AM11. I'm still backing AM9 to come good, man. I don't think we need to rush to any conclusion yet. When you look at, January's almost over, but let's look at the last 12 months. For 3/4 of that year, everyone was praising Martial for his goals. He had the most goals for United without scoring penalties. 24 goals, top goal scorer last season. Player of the year. Obviously, he's going through a difficult time at the minute. And you'll see soon, he's not in my predicted 11 for this one. And I think you just got to challenge him a little bit. Obviously, probably put an arm around him, get in his head, because he looks like he's in his own head at the moment. Some of his football is very, very good. Like against Liverpool in the first half, I thought he was our best player in attack. Now, that's because obviously a couple of them didn't play well. But whenever he got the ball, he looked dangerous. He went on a few mazy runs. He was bringing others into play. But in front of goal this season, a lot of the time he's frozen up. He's got 5 goals in 20, 21, 22 games. That's not good enough. It's clearly not good enough. But he's not far as well. I don't think some of his performances have been stinkers. I think he's had a few stinkers, but I don't think the majority of his performances have been stinkers. I think the trouble for him is, at the moment, he's playing on the left wing. You're not getting the chances to score that you would in the middle. So then you're not getting the goals. And then you're not, your goal scoring record's getting worse throughout the season. I think at the moment, just put him on the bench. Put Cavani in. When Cavani needs to come out or needs to be rested or subbed, put Martial in. Let him get a few goals. Let him get back. And then eventually, Cavani's not going to be able to play week in, week out anyway. They'll both start battling for the spot. And I think that's all you need to do is just challenge him at the moment. Because, he's not scoring goals and he's playing on the left. And he's not, and yes, he can play on the left. And I think he's arguably our best left winger. But, it's not really helping him at the moment either. Although I think some of his performances have been really unlucky. I think there's been some games where he's played well and just not scored. You think of the Leeds game, for example. I thought he was really good in that game, but missed his opportunities. He got the goals against Sheffield, had a good performance. Got a goal and had a good performance against Villa. But some of the games he's not finishing his chances, and that's what you need to do if you're the number 9. And I think when you've got Cavani that's coming in at the moment, it's making you look a little bit worse, you know what I mean? Because Cavani's in great form at the minute. But that's not going to last forever, and you'll get your chance. You just need to take it. It'll come good again. So we were talking briefly about my starting 11. Let's move on to that right now. Remember, if you want to keep getting your super chats, and I'll read them when I can, and keep your comments coming in as well. Let us know your thoughts on my predicted 11, whether you think it's the right one or not. This is the predicted 11, or maybe my preferred 11 that I've gone with. I am coming around to maybe Twanzebe starting on the right and giving Wan-Bissaka a rest. So I would possibly change that one. But this is my predicted 11. Dean Henderson in goal. So I expect Dean Henderson to come in. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Telles. So that's 2 changes to the team so far. Then I'd go with McTominay and Van der Beek. Fernandes, I think, will start. Rashford, I would start. Pogba played well on the right against Liverpool at Anfield. I'd play him there again. And I'd play Cavani through the middle. I'd be a little bit more adventurous in this game. But I think that's a more than strong enough side defensively. You'd have McTominay coming in and protecting and covering. And I think you play with that. It would at times maybe be a diamond as well. With McTominay, Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, Cavani and Rashford up top. But I think we'll see something like this. And that's how many changes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes to the team. Ross says I want James on the right wing. Abina says no way Cavani starts in a cup game. Started against Everton. David says Pogba right wing, is he not out of position? It's where he played against Liverpool. He has more, his more ability to be adventurous as well. People say it's out of position. He looks good playing as left or right of Bruno. I think Shaw will start, says Tyler. I think he'll get a rest with the Premier League games coming up. I think this is probably the kind of game you'd play Tellez in. I think Liverpool will maybe make a few changes as well. They'll go strong. I mean, Firmino and Salah didn't start their last game against Burnley, so I think they'll go strong. But I wouldn't be surprised to see, maybe not in that shape, but these kind of names on the team sheet at the weekend. You could possibly argue for Matic to start. You could possibly argue for Fred to start as well. I want to see Donny van der Beek. I think McTominay definitely starts this game. I think Bruno definitely starts. Rashford definitely starts. Pogba. And I'd go Cavani or Martial. You go Cavani. I can see those players starting, so I kind of put them in this formation where we saw Pogba play against Liverpool in the last game, so I don't think it'd be that much of a surprise. Want to see Van der Beek, says Adam. Humphrey. Adam Satar says, can see James starting, but really hope Donny and Twanzebe start. Don't mind Bruno getting a rest. Ross's team is Henderson, Williams, Lindelof, Maguire, Tellez, McTominay, Van der Beek, James, Pogba, Rashford, Cavani. So very similar to mine, except he's got Twanzebe and James in it. Sorry, Williams and James in it. Matic will start, says Leachin. Fitzroy's in the house. Roderick says Pogba's goal though. Yeah, what a goal the other day. What a goal to win it as well. Who's that again? Fulham. Almost forgot who was against. I was about to say Burnley. That was who Liverpool played. Looking forward to doing Premier League Piss Take this week with Joe. Should be good fun. We'll obviously talk about the cup games as well. But we'll obviously be speaking about Burnley, Liverpool and all that stuff. Wish we had reliable backup right back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says Tyler. There's obviously been a few news stories on Kieran Trippier possibly joining. Whether that happens or not, I doubt it. But there's been talk about us looking for a right back. Diogo Dalot's doing really well at AC Milan at the minute. So be interesting to see what happens with us in regard to that position. But that is the preview for the game against Liverpool. Massive game for Manchester United. Huge game. It's still a huge game, even though it's in the cup. And I know we're all concentrating on 21 is coming and the league title and all that. But the cup games are always important. And tomorrow will be 22 years on from when Manchester United beat Liverpool 2-1 with Solskjaer scoring in the 92nd minute at Old Trafford to come from behind. Michael Owen scored after 3 minutes. Dwight York, 90th minute. And then you had Solskjaer scoring 2 minutes later to seal a 2-1 win in the fourth round of the FA Cup on the 24th of May 1999. Can United do the same 22 years on with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leading us in the dugout? Fingers crossed that happens. I am going for the same scoreline, 2-1 to Manchester United. Let us know your score predictions in the comments. I'll read a few of those out now whilst we're here. Sean says, what's coming? We all know 21 is coming. Did you see when we beat Fulham? Remember, we've achieved 21 points from losing 21, says Adam. I did see that. There's loads of signs. Why play Cavani? Won't we need him against Sheffield, says Rithvik. I think you play him for 60 minutes. He's fit, he's healthy. Play him. I'd rather play him against Liverpool than Sheffield United as well, to be fair. I'd fancy Greenwood and Martial Rashford doing the business against Sheffield United. I know he scored the winner, Cavani, against them away from home, but still. Reza says 2-0. Jeevan says tomorrow's my birthday, so we better win. Happy birthday for tomorrow. 3-1 United, says Tebrajali. Ming says 2-1. 2-0 United, says Chandler. 2-1 says Dyra. 1-0 says Rithvik. 2-1 says Ross. And Sean says 1-0. Mahesh says United to win in a penalty shootout after 1-1 draw. Adam says 2-0. And Syed says don't be too confident. With a little warning for us all. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you keep it like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out of here.